Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Deathnote versus TBCBM. Deathnote spawning as the red undead player over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left, we have Deathnote spawning as the blue human. Human versus undead in this 1v1 matchup. As I am curious, I will be personally taking notes since I am starting to play a little bit more Warcraft 3 on how human deals with undead harassment. Now, for those of you guys out there who are trying to get better at Warcraft 3 and trying to figure things out again, basic hotkeys, execution plans like that, micro is much more important in Warcraft 3 than in StarCraft 2 because your units just survive a little bit longer and damage output does feel significantly reduced. Alright, a little bit of a misstep here by Deathnote, setting up this farm in a bad spot. Hi, Canis? How are you doing? Ultra of King's gonna go ahead and go for a Mountain King first. Alright, I must not have gotten the memo, but more and more players using Mountain King first. It may be because people are trying to transition into the Mountain King, knowing that the playtest realm patch is coming up. I do believe that the PTR should be getting a new patch. I believe they said at the end of March. So sometime in March, it might already be March where you are at. We should be getting a new playtest realm patch and maybe even eventually a new patch onto the live Warcraft 3 servers. Canis, alright. Let's take a look. Footman now wandering around off to the north here. We are going to be getting one scout tower to try and protect from those skeletal minions. Skeletal minions really falling quickly to any sort of, harassment that the Death Knight could muster up. Skeletal minions being able to deal damage to summoned units. Meanwhile, the Death Knight does lose a lot of mana if they do in fact try and engage. Mountain King coming across here, gonna go after these units. Null Assassin gonna get taken down rather quickly as they do, well, fall rather fast. Meanwhile, Mountain King picks up a Tome of Intelligence, now going after the Null Overseer. A bit of good micro across multiple units as the Mountain King now just shy of level 2. Meanwhile, at the other end, Death Knight, Rod of Necromancy, 4 full charges ready to go. And will move its way down to the south here and try and put in that annoying pressure. Arcane Tower, however, going to be able to ward off against any sort of pressure. As you see, a very, very minor change, but that is very powerful for the human players. You saw all of the low hit point peasants that were used to militia creep and clear out this 533. They're now all on the gold mine. You might be wondering, hey, what big difference does that make? If skeletal minions try and attack this location, they have to deal with the fact that the peasant can hide itself temporarily in the gold mine with no additional micro from that Mountain King. So that is a good effort there. I'm not quite sure why he's pinging on the map. What does that have to do with anything? There's no observers, so he could just be pinging for himself as the Mountain King goes to clear out the far expansion location. That does seem a little bit odd, especially if he does try and set up an expo down across here. He could get a lot of towers in this location. The militia are pretty much already all timed out. But the Forest Troll Berserkers will at least get taken down there. Alright, 2 now taken down. Mountain King does get a bash in on another. We should perhaps be looking at an Arcane Vault and an Arcane tower getting set up here if it is going to be in fact an expansion attempt. Alright, Footmen now going to be making their way down to the south, and this is a bit of a head fake by Deathnote. Normally, the normal creep pattern would be to creep out this location here. Now, TBCBM is going to be led into a false sense of security, thinking that he is ahead on creeps. Little does he know that his opponent has instead opted to set up an expansion, a ninja expansion at his own expansion location. This is something you would never ever see in StarCraft 2. The brilliance and sheer, I guess, like what the risky maneuver is. It may actually be brilliant or a horrible play as the Mountain King comes across inside, going after these units now. Stormbolt has taken down one Acolyte. Halls of the Dead. Oh, Cloak of Shadows. Stormbolt takes down another, and this is just going to be a brilliant play here. Mountain King can just go ahead and shadow meld, stormbolt these acolytes one at a time, and then, well, just cause more problems. No mining going on whatsoever. Mountain King should just shadow meld right now, or gonna go ahead and shadow meld. Has enough for another. Meanwhile, at the expansion down across here, you can see Scroll of Town Portal now gonna be coming in. Ghouls now making their way. Peasants trying to come across. Mountain King could easily get some more Stormbolts off here to try and finish things off, as one guard tower does get taken down. Mountain King is now trying to fight back here. A brilliant assessment coming across, knowing that, hey, you know what? I am still in a bad spot here, as the Arcane Tower is being microed extremely efficiently. Mountain King now shadow melded. Beautiful play right now, as you're looking at the Mountain King trying to just wait for the cooldown, knowing that he can Stormbolt and finish off units. All right, Mountain King gonna go after these units here. There goes another, as the Footmen are now pushing back or trying to salvage this location. All right, Footmen could end up getting surrounded. Arcane Tower is the only thing defending, as the population count 30 compared to 25. Everyone with a rather small army. Where'd the Mountain King go? Not 100% sure, as peasants are going to get taken down. Footmen need to defend this location here. Guard towers are falling, but the expansion is going to be a big problem. Death Knight now getting back up to 225 mana. Should be able to get in some death coils as necessary, as the Mountain King finally re-arrives to the party. Stormbolt onto a low hit point Ghoul. There it goes. Now going after some more here. Guard tower is getting upgraded, but it is also getting attacked all at the same time. More peasants need to be repaired. Is it going to be able to slither its way out or crawl its way out, depending on how you feel about ghouls? Ghouls now currently trying to just take down this guard tower. This guard tower is going to be the major difference here. The economic loss on the Undead was absolutely huge, as we see a quick cancellation and then a rebuild. All right, let's take a look at this. Death Knight in serious trouble, down out of mana. Guard tower gonna be staying alive here, as we are now trying to speed build an Arcane Vault. All right. Oh my gosh, that is an amazing play so far. Mountain King has done a great job. Frost Nova, however, quickly turns the tables, as Footmen now do need to retreat. TBCBM with a smaller army, but then again, what's happening here? You can take a look. Mountain King is back out onto the field. Ghoul could get taken out there in just a couple of quick shots. Are we going to see a death coil? No death coil. Frost Nova onto the peasants. No Rod of Necromancies. No, 2 charges left, as the Mountain King now gets to level 4. Level 2 Bash now joining in on the fight. Guard tower now up, as the guard tower is going to make it very difficult. Death Knight may end up getting surrounded. No, able to break free, as a lot of mana is lost. Hi, Raslink. Hello to Europe, as the Mountain King still joining in on this fight. Thank you for joining me in what has been a beautiful game by Deathnote so far against TBCBM. Mountain King with Cloak of Shadows, Staff of Teleportation, and Pendant of Energy really did a number on the overall economy. You can see that the Undead still at Halls of the Dead because of that major setback. Not going to be able to get destroyers anytime soon, but has this economic advantage, this expansion paid for itself yet? And that is a question that I cannot answer. He is in a good spot. And let's look at the Undead heroes, level 3 and level 1, and this is what's now actually scary. The fact that the human player is at keep, he needs those Arcane Sanctums for those Spellbreakers and those Priests, because Footmen are just going to end up feeding the experience of the Death Knight and that Lich. Death Coil followed by Frost Nova pretty much takes down a Footman, as you can easily follow up the remaining damage with some Crypt Fiends and some long distance attacks from the Lich. Alright, Stormbolt onto that Death Knight. Death Knight does in fact have a potion of healing. Death Coil onto the Mountain King. Mountain King actually in a bit of trouble. Gets in another bash. Potion of healing comes across, and now the Mountain King goes, why did I even try to join in on that fight? Needs to get away and will be able to escape at 111 hit points. It is going to go ahead and try and Staff of Teleportation away. It heads back Where did it go? Over here to the Arcane Vault as we see another Blood Mage strategy. All right, Mana Battery once more. If you're able to remove the mana from the Death Knight and the Lich, that is a great, great advantage as we're looking at Meat Wagons joining in. All right, Meat Wagons going to be that perfect counter to, well, only what is 2 towers currently up and running. Are we perhaps going to be looking at the Blood Mage with Flame Strike to try and zone out some units? Meat Wagon only has 380 hit points. What is that unit doing? All right, units now trying to get away. Mountain King does pick up a tome right there as the remaining units now perhaps going to be heading back down to the south. Spellbreakers ready to go. Hello to the UK. No Blood Mage buffs. Nope, not that I see. As the Mountain King now going to be venturing forth. It does have a Ring of Protection, so it will offer some protection from the Null Warden there. All right, Blood Mage perhaps should be trying to pull that Red Drake away in order to be able to keep it away from that Fountain of Health, but it looks as though there is no intent on trying to take down this Red Drake as of yet. Let's take a look back off to the north. A Meat Wagon going to be lobbing some damage onto this Arcane Vault. Arcane Vault down to 369 hit points. Mountain King going to go ahead and, well, finish off the Null Brute. Well, finish it off. There it goes as the Mountain King now heads off to the north, back up to full hit points as we are still getting more Spellbreakers. Over at the other end of the map, Death Knight is going to get to 4, and the Lich going to get to level 2. Subtle nerf to the Blade Master. I don't think it was subtle at all. I think everyone said it got beat with a giant nerf bat. Longer than its Blade Master blade. And, well, considering that the Farseer was considerably buffed as well with those Spirit Wolves, that's all you're really seeing on the PTR right now. But then again, well, the sample size is still just a bit too small to know what's going to be happening. All right, well, thank you for the donation. $10 going to help me pay my bills as we're looking at the one of mana stealing quickly being sold, picking up a potion of lesser invulnerability as well. Mountain King going after the Forest Troll Trapper is going to be able to finish off some of these units. Picks up the Tome of Strength. I thought he was going to leave it behind for a moment as we are now finally getting to Black Citadel. Biggest problem I see is the universal speed buff for all heroes. Well, yes and no. I mean, heroes are so important that all heroes needed to be able to move faster. They just increased the baseline speed. Mountain King now being able to catch up, and you aren't required to have Boots of Speed on a Mountain King. All right, Blood Mage going to be able to pick up a Hood of Cunning. Nope. Item transfer over. Nope. It is Blood Mage going to be picking up that Hood of Cunning right there as the Mountain King holding on to the remaining items once more. This is not 1.29. It is 1.29 is still in the playtest realm, but I'm just answering questions that are being brought up by the community. All right, let's see how all of this is going to go down next. How this all is going to go down next as we see the Death Knight and the Lich making its way over. Frost Nova straight up onto all of those peasants right there. Arcane Towers getting in some big damage. Meanwhile, Obsidian statues in the backs. Scroll of Town Portal landing straight up here. And he wanted to just make sure that there was no expansion at the other end of the map. Human Tri-Hero, Mountain King, Blood Mage, Paladin, as opposed to the Archmage. And with this, I am not surprised that we don't see any Priest. Normally, if you are going Priest, you do need that Archmage in order to have more health. This time around, though, are we going to perhaps see a Staff of Sanctuary or all of the units just fairly inexpensive? And that's the reason why we won't be looking at that there. Nope, Staff of Sanctuary has been purchased, picked up by the Blood Mage. Not all heroes, but most of the melee heroes. Well, Nagas, I think the Naga Sea Witch also got a movement speed increase as well. Heroes, generally, they're supposed to be leading the army, and the fact that they were so often trailing behind was a big issue. All right, Silence straight up on that Mountain King, followed by a Death Coil, Frost Nova, Flying Machines joining up into the air, as well the Abominations in that front line going to be causing problems. Bash onto the Abomination, Spellbreakers with that range. Units are now trying to pull back again, as we see a Stormbolt go down onto a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend quickly getting healed, though. Flying Machines unable to do much as we see a Staff of Sanctuary trying to save. All right, Crypt Fiend now backing up down to 58 hit points as the, well, The Knight's now looking to join in on the fight. Knight going after the Lich. Lich in serious trouble. Death Knight does have enough mana for a Death Coil as the Blood Mage broke off his siphon mana. Too much mana to try and siphon away as we see the Death Coil come across again. No Staff of Sanctuary this time around. Cooldown not enough, but the Dark Ranger could get taken down. No. Potion of Healing transferred, most likely followed by a Death Knight. No more mana on the Death Knight as the Spellbreakers have slowly been picking it off. But a beautiful fight by TBCBM. He has won every aspect of this battle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And to say that the Mountain King is just as fast as a Death Knight, when does the Death Knight have Unholy Aura, right? Death Knight, Unholy Aura, 10% movement speed. The Death Knight, for all intent and purposes, is faster than the Mountain King. Blood Mage now going to be making its way back, needs to get healed back up. Paladin is low on mana, needs to join in on this fight. How is this fight going to go down? 63 supply compared to 52 as the units are now backing off. So far, Deathnote does have the larger army, but all it's turning into is experience for the other side. Knight going to get taken down. There it goes as... well, the Forest Troll Trapper is getting picked off as well. Mountain King or Paladin in big trouble. What is it doing? Needs to turn back around and get away. Flying Machines in the air, hoping for Destroyers to show up to the party. And, well, Flying Machines are in the air with nothing to attack. Are we going to perhaps see the bombardment, the ground attack on these Flying Machines at some point? Without that, it is just a complete useless unit. You can take a look. 7 Flying Machines unable to do anything at all except for provide Truth Sight just in case there is a shade. Necropolis being built in addition to a Haunted Gold Mine as the Blood Mage is in a bad spot here. Blood Mage now needs to try to get away in a bad spot. Staff of Sanctuary does save it. Knight now trying to head back as well. Paladin does pick up Cloak of Flames, which might be transferred to the Mountain King. Blood Mage with Staff of Sanctuary currently getting healed back up, back at home, but unable to move. TBCBM using this opportunity to go ahead and, well, heal. You can see the Priest is also trying to help this Blood Mage, get healed back up as the Anti-Magic Shell is up, and that is, well, going to be useful. Blood Mage finally breaks free. What is it doing? It is going to be throwing itself on a sacrificial platter served up to the undead for some experience. Oh my goodness. Deathnote must be kicking himself right now, but this is a very large army of knights. And Stormbolt straight up onto a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend gonna get taken out. Flying Machines say, I dare you. I double dog dare you to go ahead and transform into Destroyers. All right, Knights now joining in, going after the Crypt Fiends. Once the Flying Machines, if they had ground attack, this would be a completely different fight. Mountain King getting up to level 5. Potion of Invulnerability, able to stick around a little bit longer. And is it going to be able to Stormbolt that Dark Ranger? Stormbolt's, what is it? Stormbolt's the Death Knight, now trying to get away. Mountain King in serious trouble. Staying on a Staff of Teleportation. Is it going to get silenced? Is it going to make it? Yes, it does. Teleports back to the expansion as the units are now all running back. Flying Machine still up in the air going, you know what? What is happening here? Arcane Tower getting some easy damage onto a Banshee. That is not what I was expecting at all. And still the fact that there is no ground attack upgrade is absolutely painful for me to watch. Why are there Flying Machines if they're not being used for anything? Get in a little bit of damage at the very least and make them useful. Mountain King now getting healed back up. Flying Machine, 36 over 200 supply. Mountain King does not have a Scroll of Town Portal, as things are going to get a little bit scary here. There is a backdoor entrance now. Knights and Spellbreakers needing to head back home as we see the population, this army now trying to make its rounds out. All right, if Deathnote realizes that his opponent does in fact have an expansion, he knows he needs to pull the trigger quickly. If he sits far too long, the hero level advantage of the Death Knight, Lich, and Dark Ranger are going to start to become too large. It looks like he's going to be offsetting that level advantage by leveling up the heroes himself and that Paladin will get to level 2 and have Divine Shield. Divine Shield incredibly powerful right here in this spot as we're looking at the, well, skeletal minions. Where are they all going? Just feeding experience right now to all of these units here. Blood Mage now making their way out as well, as we can take a look at what is going down. Undead army making its way back. Gonna go ahead and put some pressure onto the units. Flying Machine quickly scouts out the expansion and says, you know what? That is a problem. What's going to be happening next? Blood Mage, is it picking up a Potion of Invisibility and Potion of Lesser Invulnerability? And as the Arcane Sanctum will get taken down, the Abomination is doing the majority of the work to try and save this here. All right, expansions. Main bases, 1 minute left on mining here. 1 minute left on mining here. How is there similar mining times left after the successful harassment of that Mountain King earlier? Anti-Magic Shell, Death Coil, Paladin is going to see a Staff of Sanctuary. No, it does not look like it. Flying Machine saying, yes, we can finally join in on the fight. As you can take a look, this Death Knight not losing any mana here whatsoever. Lich in a surrounded spot could get taken out. Death Coil, while banished, very useful indeed. But Knights are going to get taken down. Where is that Lich going to go? Double Belt of Giant Strength, making him very difficult to take out. As the Death Knight, well, constantly anti-magic shielding that Lich, as that Lich is still alive. Beautiful play by TBCBM to constantly save the units as the Death Knight, well, is this Lich going to be able to survive? Down to 105 hit points, teleports to Blight. All right, let's see how this fight is going to be going next. Where is all of these units going to go? Mountain King looking to join in on the fight, going after the Abominations and the remaining units. Blood Mage currently silenced, unable to siphon mana. Meanwhile, Staff of Sanctuary finally goes down to save a Knight, but that may be too little too late. Flying Machine's going to go ahead and join in on the fight now. Paladin is finally sitting at level 3. As you see, the human army is just absolutely falling apart. TBCBM is in a great spot if he can hold on to this supply advantage. All right, Banshees are all here. Constant Manti. Oh, Death Knight could be in trouble. Holy Light absorbed by that unit right there as the damage down to 17 hit points. Is it going to survive? Knight gets the final shot, and the Death Knight dies to the Knight. Blood Mage also lost in the same moments, but I would gladly trade you a level 3 Blood Mage for a level 5 Death Knight. All right, is that Dark Ranger going to be able to escape? Down to 49, 50 hit points. It is fighting on Blight. It is going to be able to regenerate a lot of hit points. Units are just running all the way around as the Spellbreakers happening back across the other way. Paladin low on hit points as well. What is happening here? Mountain King does have a bit of mana. Goes for the Lich. Are we going to have a tri-hero death here on the Undead army? Mountain King actually misses its target as a low hit point Knight needs to get away and, well, does survive at 9 hit points. Frenzy. No, Disease Cloud actually causing a problem. An Abomination chasing after the units here. And what is happening next? Death Knight resurrected at the tavern. Mountain King now desperately wants to try and chase him down as the Death Knight is going to be able to get back, perhaps swing things again. 38 supply compared to 65. The Undead army is just going to be far too large. Obsidian Statue is here as well. A bit of attacking going to get underway, but the armies are just far too large. 38 supply compared to 72. That Undead base, far too much. The economic advantage that Deathnote thought he had completely neutralized, and I believe that is going to be the game once these units are all taken down. Knight. Oh, Staff of Sanctuary was saved right there. Anti-Magic Potion. Death Knight now hanging around this one fountain of health. Able to wander around here as the remaining army is just attacking it. Blood Mage taken down. Paladin taken down. And it looks as though the Mountain King gives up the chase. TBCBM with a beautiful, beautiful play. Being able to just out-resource his opponent, or get enough resources, just enough to come out ahead over his opponent. And wow, that was great. Thoughts on how widescreen affects gameplay? It makes 4v4 games much more entertaining. You can see what more is going to be happening. I think they need to fix the angle, the viewing angle of the game. It seems like you're one notch in, and that's actually thrown me off in trying to pick up items a little bit. That should be a quick and easy fix for them. But yeah, widescreen, you're able to see more horizontally. What I am going to be interested on is, are we going to see more left versus right maps? Left versus right maps, because wait, no, is this my? Nope, that's my right. All right, yeah, left versus right maps, because it would actually allow players to top versus bottom maps. So when you engage, you have a wider line that you can actually see. So we'll see how all of that goes. Thank you everyone for the donations and the bits. If you guys consider it, you guys just bought me my microphone arm that I had to get in order to be able to cast a little bit more efficiently as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.